Welcome back with a smiling face. Links to previous episodes are given in the video description, so don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. Taming the Ruthless Alpha. Blurb. Omegas are meant to be silent. Omegas must follow orders. Omegas are supposed to do everything I say. Alpha Morrison yelled in fury, spitting at me. Every day, I worried about my safety. I'm curious about what I did to deserve this destiny. Would they have gladly handed me over to a cruel alpha because of how much they hated me? Am I left to my own devices? Olivia Watson is loathed by her pack. Since the day her mother and brother died, she has been beaten, tortured, and treated like the pack's slave. Despite everyone blaming her for their death, she was unaware of the secrets that were kept from her. When she realizes that her second-chance companion is the infamous Alpha, Alaric of the Dark Moon Pack, she discovers that her first mate has rejected her. Aside from the fact that one should never cross him, no one truly knows him. She trembles with terror at the tales she's heard about him. But will he actually be that awful? The truth is that every animal has a beauty that may calm it down. Will she be the one to tame the monster within him? Episode 1. Olivia the Pain. It's too much. I had been beaten all day, spat on, and kicked, my hair had been pulled, and I had lost count of how many times they had pushed me to the floor. I should be used to it by now, right? I mean, this is my life every day. I've been treated like this since I could remember, and it's as if they get a thrill seeing me getting beaten. It's a show to their amusement. Someone thought it would be funny to dump their hot coffee on me as I walked by with a tray of food back to the kitchen as I continued to clear the table, and another threw their leftover hash brown in my face because they said their coffee wasn't strong enough, and the hash brown tasted old. Just keep walking, Livs. Just keep walking, I say under my breath. It was the only thing I could do because if I so even tried to retaliate, or defend myself, I knew I was going to lose. Once done, I was ready to dash out and continue with my next work, cleaning the pack's hospital. Well, more like a clinic, because it was just a tiny cottage. But just as I was running through the corridor, I felt a yank on my hair, making me fall back. My body ached as I fell to the ground, and I could feel the sting on my scalp as Alpha Noah dragged me by my hair toward the kitchen. Someone had just spilled a gallon of milk on the floor. The floor I had just cleaned not even 5 minutes ago. I needed to stay quiet. If I made even the slightest sound, I knew what was coming. I gripped my hair, hoping it would ease the pain as he dragged me along. He flung me across the kitchen, making my body crash against the counter. My body ached as it hit the counter doors, and I could hear the cracking of yet another broken rib, making me wince from the pain. I whimpered, my tears ran down unwillingly. Stay mute, Liv. Stay mute, my mind said, but my eyes betrayed as I began to cry silently, letting out a small whimper. Clean this up, you lazy mutt. Do you have any idea how important tomorrow is for all of us? I told you this place needed to stay clean, don't test me, got it? And start making lunch. Alpha Noah sneered, kicking me on my ribs and making me cry in pain. But, I said, regretting my words as soon as they left my lips. He slaps me across my face with the back of his hand, stinging my cheek and right eye. Shut up. How dare you talk back to me? Do you want to go back to the dungeon? You obviously need a reminder of who is in authority here, he yells at me, clenching his jaw. My hands fisted and my jaw clenched from anger. If it's one thing I hate, it's being punched by him. He never stops, not until his knuckles have had enough of me. I can't recall the last time I ever felt happy. It's been hell for me ever since I could remember, since the day my mom and brother were killed in front of my eyes. Then again, maybe I deserved all this. It was my fault they were killed after all. I was the one who wanted to keep wandering off that day. I still remember it as if it had just happened yesterday. When I was 7, my mom, my brother, Brandon, and I went out for a stroll. We had such a fun day, but we lost track of time, and we didn't notice that we had walked too close to the borders, close to where Mom's favorite flowers were, the wisterias. By the time we realized it, we were surrounded by rogues. Mom sacrificed herself, waving at my brother and me and ordering us to run for it. That was the last time I saw her alive. She struggled and fought them off as much as she could, but she was outnumbered. She never stood a chance against them. Before my brother and I could get away, they ran after us too, and got to my brother first, slashing him across his chest, right before my eyes. I still remember the sound of his pleading voice telling me to run as his body slowly gave out. His frail body fell as if in slow motion before me, and I could see nothing but evil smirks plastered in those rogues' eyes. I went into shock, seeing how they ran toward me. When Dad finally got there with our Alpha and the other guards, a rogue had already attacked me, leaving me unconscious. When I finally regained consciousness, I found out that my brother's body was missing, my mom was dead, and I had been unconscious for 3 days before I finally woke up. I was now left with a nasty scar across my right jaw and neck to forever remind me of that day. My dad wept for their deaths for so long, that he isolated himself from everyone, including me. But that wasn't all. He gave in to wolf's moonshine, which is a more potent alcohol made of wolfsbane and herbs. It's much more lethal than the alcohol humans are used to, but equally dangerous to werewolves because it's extremely addictive. Until one day when I turned 14 and he left me as well. Everyone blamed me for their death, and they were probably right. It was all my fault, at least, I felt it that way. My name is Olivia Watson. I am an Omega and part of the Silver Moon Pack. I'm turning 18 today. I could be celebrating. But instead, I'm here cleaning past hours, like I do every day since the day Dad died and I became the lowest ranked Omega in our pack. Even the other Omegas looked down on me. The day they told me Dad had died, our Alpha demoted me to the lowest rank in our pack, and I had no say. Our Alpha, Noah Morrison, is not someone to be reckoned with. He's tough, and but I mean very temperamental. I can't say his son, Skyla, is any different. The apple didn't fall far from the tree in their case. They both hate me with passion and are not afraid to show it. Skyla is the epitome of evil meets greed, just like his dad. He's a narcissistic bipolar who loves to mess with the heads of every girl in our pack. The golden boy who everyone obeys whether they like it or not, because if not, they will suffer the consequences of his goons, Vincent and Cole, his soon-to-be Beta and Gamma. Skyla turned 18 about 8 months ago, and he's been eager to become Alpha soon. I have a feeling that when our Alpha passes down his title to him through the Alpha ceremony, this pack will soon see its doom. I can feel it. To make matters worse, Skyla has been picking on me the most these past few months. I mean, he has always treated me badly, but it's gotten worse since he turned 18. I don't know what his deal is. I guess authority is making his ego grow, impatiently waiting to become the sole authority of this pack. I do know one thing though, I have to stay away from him, no matter what. Or I will be punished, not only by him but by his girlfriend Leah. She is even worse than him. I've heard rumors that a pack is supposed to look after each other and protect each other. At least, that's what kids used to say when I was still attending high school. I attended a school where it was a mixture of humans and werewolves from different packs. I saw for myself how well other pack members got along with everyone, regardless of who they were. But our pack was the complete opposite. Skyla and his two best friends, the future Beta, Vincent, and his future Gamma, Cole rule the school, and everyone in our pack when our Alpha, Noah isn't around. It's no surprise though, everyone in my pack who holds a higher rank takes advantage of their position, making the lives of others a living hell. Especially mine, since I was known as the girl who got her family killed, making me the target of their hatred. Alpha Noah Morrison and his son, Skyla were especially mean to me. He'd constantly say that my dad had gone mad because he couldn't overcome the loss of my mom and brother, and got stuck with a sorry excuse of a daughter to take care of, so he killed himself out of misery. I faintly remember when I had a happy family and a home. We didn't have much, because we were all low-ranked, but we had each other. I feel so worthless knowing Alpha may be right. I deserve to get treated the way I do. Everyone in our pack has a job, but the job consists of days off as well. I hadn't had a day off in months since the day I graduated high school. Then again, I was thankful they even allowed me to finish high school because most Omegas are only allowed to go to junior high and no more. I wish I could have had the chance to attend college like most kids in our pack, but I know I'm dreaming too high. I'm envious to see the older kids who turn 18 and graduate high school find their mates and attend college together. Maybe one day I could find my mate. He'll take me away from all this and we can be happy. I want to be happy, but the more I think about it, the more I want to cry. I'm losing hope, and I don't know if this is all I will ever live for. Cleaning up after everyone, and taking hits from the angry pack members. Maybe this is all that will ever be for me. Olivia, I finished preparing for lunch, then cleaned up the mess, and soon I was left doing more and more errands for other pack members. I sigh as I wipe the sweat off my forehead. I glance at the clock and realize it was really late. If I didn't finish now, the rest of the Omegas would begin to come in to prepare for dinner. We also needed to begin preparations for the meeting that the Alpha has with other packs coming tomorrow morning. I glance at the floor as I stick the dirty rag back in my bucket. I had kitchen duty all week, and after everyone finished eating, I was the one responsible for cleaning the whole kitchen on my own, since the head Omega doesn't like me. She has perfectly stated that the kitchen floors needed to be hand-cleaned and left spotless after every meal. If she even saw a speck, I'd have to redo it all over again. The visiting pack, the Primords, and the Dark Moon pack are said to be one of the biggest and most powerful in our nation. They are very secretive, not even the King Alpha dares to enter their territory without their consent. They say the king has hired them multiple times to finish off invading packs or kill dangerous creatures that lurk around the king's castle. Creatures no other wolf would dare to go against, no matter how strong they claim to be. The last time they came to our pack was when I was still really small. When my parents were still alive. I remember my dad had said you could feel the power they held just standing in the same room as them. Dad loved walking with them and talking to the alphas. I could still see his smile when he'd talk to them. No one knows much about the two packs other than that the Primords are the oldest in existence, and the other pack, the Dark Moon Pack, is the Primord's most cherished ally. The Dark Moon Pack was once attacked by powerful lichens taking the life of their Luna. The Primords were the ones who came and helped them, ending the war and helping them get back on their feet. They made a pact to protect each other soon after and have been allies ever since. The two packs have become the strongest duo ever since, and both packs will be arriving either tonight or tomorrow morning to attend Skyla's ceremony happening this weekend. Skyla has only been anticipating this since his 18th birthday, and now it's finally happening, after 8 long months. I'm both scared and nervous for some reason. My wolf, Freya, won't stop jumping up and down. I just know something is going to happen. I'm not sure whether it's good or bad, but I know something is going to happen, I can feel it. I groaned as I felt my sore muscles, my back ached from being hunched over. Thankfully my ribs had already begun to heal, perks of being a werewolf, we heal fast. I sighed as I looked around, happy with the results of my work. Our pack doesn't have a big kitchen, but it's still a lot of work for one person to take care of on their own. This is when I miss my best friend, Desiree. But unlike me and my crummy fate, Desiree turned 18 3 months ago and she was lucky to have found her mate, none other than our next beta, Cole. She was a very humble girl, and very shy. But she changed soon as she found him. She was mated to Cole, the soon-to-be beta after all. So, she stopped talking to me, and was now one of them, hating me to the core and mistreating me. I close my eyes and sigh as I place my hands on my knees, still sitting on the floor. I wiped my forehead from how hot it was in here. Summer here can go to the 3 digits Fahrenheit, even at night time. My eyes widened as I heard the bucket topple over, spilling the dirty water everywhere. I looked towards it, and my eyes widened to see Skyla's girlfriend, Leah, laughing. Oops, didn't see you down there, mutt. Oh, but, then again, who can see an invisible piece of trash like you? Ugh, she says, glancing at her new white pumps, look at what you did? You ruined my shoes. Do you have any idea how expensive these are? She yells at me as if it had been my fault. She kicks me, making a big scrape on my arm, and cutting the thin fabric of my t-shirt. I was sure those were some Jimmy Choo knockoffs, like the rest of her collection, but who am I to judge? I only cleaned her shoes once a month, after all, nothing more. I shriek inwardly as I feel the pain, but I know better than to cry in front of her. It will only boost her ego to cause me more pain. I'm sorry. I apologized, and regardless of whether it is my fault or not, I apologize, or I won't hear the end of it. Which also meant that Skyla would make sure I'd get a good beating for it as well if he finds out about this. Clean this up, and after dinner, you'll be cleaning all of my shoes, do you understand? I nodded as I lowered my head to avoid eye contact with her. But I cleaned your shoes last week, I say, making her slap me. Did I ask if you cleaned them already? I said you're going to clean my shoes, or do I need to tell Skyla to give you another backslashing, she says, making my body shiver. I can still feel the pain in my back from the last time he and Cole slashed my back with a whip. She could easily hurt me herself. She was far stronger than me as it was since she gets to train with Skyla and his group. But she was thrilled seeing him do it for her. I have never stepped on any training grounds other than when they need extra punching bags. Did you hear me? She yells louder, making me flinch. Why yes. I'll clean your shoes as soon as I'm done. I stuttered as I hugged myself. After my shoes, I want you to organize my dresses. And be extra careful not to try and steal any of my clothes or dirty them with the filthy you're wearing. I need all of my shoes organized properly in my room before I wake up tomorrow morning, got it? She sneers, and rolls her eyes. My appearance probably disgusts her. I usually get pretty dirty from all the cleaning I have to do, but my clothes are really old and in bad shape as it is. They're full of stains and holes from being worn out. I haven't had new clothes since my parents died, but my mom was pretty thin, and I was able to wear most of her jeans and shirts as I began to develop through my years. The Alpha allowed me to stay in our small house, but I think it was mainly because no one wanted me to sleep in the pack house. Our house was beautiful, and in good shape when Mom was alive, but Dad stopped maintaining it when she died. I tried to keep it going, but I have yet to learn how to do repairs, which means my roof leaks everywhere when it rains. Thank goddess it's summer. Leah, let's go. Skyla roars by the entrance, making both of us turn toward him. He locked eyes with me, clenching his jaw and fisting his hands. I swear his eyes looked dark for some reason. It looked as if he was debating something with his wolf. But then the worst happens, a heavenly smell engulfed my nose. It was like a mixture of cedar and cinnamon. Made my wolf, Freya yells in my mind. She had been quiet all day, and now she decides to say something? I curse inwardly, cursing my own fate. No, I whispered, making Leah turn toward me, and give me a confused look. What did you say, Mutt? No, nothing, I say, making her roll her eyes and turn back to Skyla. Baby, look what this stupid mutt did. She ruined my shoes, she whines, lifting her foot with the dirty shoe. It was a tiny stain, barely noticeable, but still there. He fists his hands, clenching his jaw. Then go change them or throw them away. Now hurry up, I don't like being late. We have to meet with my parents before dinner, he says, unwilling to look away from me. I was beginning to feel unease, like a mixture of lust and hatred, all at once as he looked at me. I know how he is though, he is the biggest man-whore there is in our pack, and though Leah is the same, she doesn't waste time on beating the other girls close to death when she finds he slept with one of them. It's like they were a match made in heaven, and not even I will be able to break them apart. They are so perfect for each other. The future Alpha and his Luna. This pack is definitely going to hell when he takes over. But, baby, she responds, whining like a 5-year-old, pointing towards me. Now. He grits his teeth, yelling in his alpha tone. His eyes turn dark as his wolf threatens to merge. Leah and I flinch at his reaction, but all I can do is try and fight my wolf. He is not my mate, he can't be. Fine, she responds, slumping her shoulders and letting her hands fall to her side. She was obviously not happy with his response. She was waiting for him to beat me like he always does. I'll deal with you later, you stupid mutt. Clean this up. She kicks the bucket, hitting my knee and making a bit of dirty water inside it splash my face. He looks at me angrily, not saying a word, and turns following her out of the kitchen. Livy! You have to go after him. He's our mate, not hers. My wolf, Freya complains. I can't help but begin to cry silently. This definitely had to be a sick joke from our goddess. How can you ever think our future alpha, our so-called mate, could run to our side and claim us as his mate? Look at me, Freya. I'm weak, I'm useless to him. I'm nothing but an omega. If he wanted us, he would have already claimed us. I told my wolf, making her whimper. Instead, he's going to meet his parents to talk about Leah and him. She is his Luna, Freya. Not me. I had already heard the rumor. Not intentionally, but I still did. Skyla would name Leah his Luna tomorrow at the ceremony and set a date for their marriage soon after he becomes the new alpha of our pack. That's why he never said anything. He knew we were his mate when he turned 18 a few months ago. Didn't he? Freya whimpers, adding to my grief. I nod, sobbing on that dirty kitchen floor. He knew, Freya. He knew and said nothing. I say, through staggered breaths as I try to control my cry. Livy. I gulped down my pride and began to clean up quickly, wiping away my tears. Sniffling, I cleaned the towels and began to clean the floors again. It was so late. I'm going to be in so much trouble. I hurried to put things away and was about to run out of the kitchen to change when the lead Omega came in, making me bump into her. She hates when I cook in dirty clothes. Hey, watch it, she yells, making me startled. I am so sorry, I say, apologizing for the billionth time today. She rolls her eyes as she fixes her shirt. You look disgusting. Why haven't you changed? The primered pack just notified us that they are 2 hours away. They will be here soon, which means they will be joining us for dinner. We need to get things ready. Hurry up and change, come back and start prepping for dessert while the others start dinner. And try to look a little presentable, will you? The alpha wants you to be one of the servants. I need you to look a little decent, if that's even possible. She mumbles the last part as she looks me up and down. I lower my head and sigh, now. Hurry up and change, you have 10 minutes to get back here, she says, making me jump. I move from side to side in panic before I take off running toward my house. 10 minutes, that's all I get, and I live far from here, but I'm a fast runner. If I try my hardest, I can be there in 2 or 3 minutes. Yes, ma'am, I say as I begin to run out of the pack house and towards my house. I run as fast as my legs can take me, but I'm weak. I haven't eaten all day, and taking off like that just makes my head pound in pain. My eyes widen as I come close to my door and see Skyla there. His hands are crossed over his chest and he doesn't look happy at all. It's getting pretty dark now, the sun is beginning to go down, but where my house is located, it's getting darker as the trees around me cover the house entirely from the sun. Alpha, what can I do for you? I ask nervously, looking down. He sighs, clenching his jaw. Open the door, we need to talk, Olivia. I can't help but become enamored with his voice. I know it's the stupid pull of the mating bond, but I know what's coming. My intuition has never been wrong. My heart hopes for me to be wrong. Why yes, sir, I say as I walk past him and unlock my door. My hands tremble, and I almost drop the keys, but I manage to open the door. I walk in and place my keys on the key holder by the door. I feel my arm being pulled harshly as I take a step toward the living room. Skyla throws me against the door, making it shut behind me. My head hits the door, making my head hurt. The fact that I haven't eaten since I woke up this morning, and today's temperature being so hot only adds to my headache, making me feel lightheaded, and causing my headache to worsen by the impact. His body is pinned against mine, making my whole body fill with the need to touch him, but I fear doing so all at once. He sniffs my neck, making my eyes water. I'm instantly filled with sparks. His body ignites, making him growl, sliding his lips gracefully over my neck's skin. Mate, he whispers, making my eyes wide in shock. Skyla, my voice must have brought him out of his trance. He lets go of me, closing his eyes and turning, giving me his back. No. You can't. I won't let you become my Luna, he says, turning around and grabbing the back of his neck. He then turns, gripping my neck and blocking my airways. Panic invades me instantly as I struggle to breathe. What was I expecting? For him to suddenly turn into Prince Charming for me? My world crumbled once again. I knew it was too good to be true the second I saw him at my door. You will never be my Luna. I thought I was mistaken, when I turned 18 and I got your scent. I knew it was a matter of time before you turned 18 to confirm my suspicions. But this, he points between him and me as he lets me go. I fall, gasping for air, coughing, and whizzing as I hold my neck. This will never happen. Do you understand? I don't want you as a mate, Olivia. You hear me? Why, Skyla? I can be a good mate if you just gave me a chance. I can train and become strong. I say through tears as my emotions get the best of me. I hug myself. My wolf, Freya, whimpers and I can sense that she is crying. You're a weak link. A nobody, a dumb omega. Do you have any idea how bad that would make me look in front of the other alphas? In front of my pack? Everyone hates you, including me, he says, hitting the wall behind me, and making my tears fall. I sat and cried on that floor, hugging myself as he continued to give me all the excuses in the book of why I was no good for him and this pack. By the end, he makes it clear that I am nothing but scum to him. Worthless, and unworthy of the Luna title for our pack. I lose focus on what he is saying as I try to comfort my wolf. She howls and whimpers as she hears his words. Then he says it. The words I dreaded hearing. My rejection. Stand up, he says as he pulls me up harshly by my arm. Skyla Morrison, Alpha of the Silver Moon Pack, reject you, Olivia Watson, as my mate and future Luna of the Silver Moon Pack. His words make my body fall as intense pain engulfs my chest and abdomen. And I demote you to become a slave to the Dark Moon Pack as soon as they arrive. You are no longer part of us. I feel myself being torn into pieces, leaving me not only weak but hyperventilating as I struggle to breathe. Fear fills me as I feel the mating bond break. I don't know what I feared the most, the sudden realization that I had just been rejected, or that I had now become destined to be a slave to another pack. It takes me a few seconds, but through the pain, I grunt and get on my feet. I wipe my tears away and clench my teeth to look at him, all the while he looks at me with hate in his eyes. I, Olivia Watson, accept your rejection. I, Olivia Watson, accept your rejection to be the future Luna and your mate, and I reject you, Skyla Morrison, as my mate. I accept your demotion to send me as a slave to another pack and cut ties with everyone in this pack. Any place is better than to be here in this pathetic excuse for a pack. I say, making him growl. He's ready to grab me by my neck again, but he somehow holds back, fighting his wolf. I'll let this slide, for I know your weak body is in pain. But believe me, Olivia, next time you speak badly about my pack, you will be severely punished. I will make sure you rot and suffer some more if my pack's name is on your lips ever again, he growls, standing an inch away from me. I can tell he's fighting his wolf, but I couldn't care less. He just broke me, he broke my heart and my wolf. My body feels like it's on fire and all my bones ache as if they were being broken. The mating bond. It's breaking. Gather your shit, because as soon as the ceremony is over, you'll be leaving with the visiting packs. It's up to them who wants to be cursed by your presence. You're no longer my problem, he says as he fists his hands. I manage to get enough strength and move towards the sofa near my entrance. As he gets closer, he raises his hand and tries to caress my cheek, but I move away. He growls and closes his palm. Don't bother showing up tonight. But don't be late for breakfast, the Primered and the Dark Moon Pack will be waiting to be served. I'll let the kitchen know you'll be taking time off from dinner duties, he says as I feel more tears roll down my cheeks as I look away. I knew why he didn't want me there. He would be announcing his engagement soon, they would probably be discussing the arrangement for the celebration. I sniffled, closing my eyes. Don't you dare ridicule me, Olivia. Be on your best behavior, or I'll make sure you spend your last hours in our dungeon without meals, he said, before opening the door and leaving me in complete solitude. Is this how I'm meant to live all my life? I have tried to be the best in everything, the best student, the best worker, and for what? I've been treated like trash, disrespected, and mistreated by everyone despite me not doing anything to them. I let myself cry, with Freya whimpering as well. My body slowly slid down until I hit the floor. The knot in my throat was too intense as I cried and regretted all my efforts. Freya begged me to go after him, but it was too late. He will never be mine. He belongs with Leah, and if I'm being honest, I don't think I could ever be happy with a mate like him. I want to not care anymore, but it's hard. My parents are gone, and my brother is gone. I lost my only friend, the one I thought was my friend. And now, my mate, the one our moon goddess had destined for me. He didn't want me. He despised me and felt I was nothing but a curse to this pack. I was a curse and a plague to them. A plague that no one wanted around. Come on, Livy. You need to get up. You need to fight for him. How could you accept his rejection? I know he wants us, I felt it. I just know it enough, Freya. I yelled at my wolf. She was just as naive as I was. We were both too young and stupid to think clearly about what we really wanted. No, Livy. You can't give up. For once in your life, fight for what you want. You deserve that Luna title. It's yours, that's why our goddess destined you to him, she yells back, making me growl. He doesn't want us, Freya. You heard him yourself. He hates us, and so does this pack. I just want to go away. I don't want to be in this pack anymore. This whole pack is a piece of shit. No one in this pack cares about you and me, Freya. No one. I yelled, whispering the last part, making her whimper. We sit in silence for a while as we both cry and wait for the pain from our mating bond to go away. So what do we do, now? She asks sadly, after minutes of silence. I still sat on the floor against that same wall staring into space, numb, and feeling defeated. What can we do, Freya? We have no money, and nowhere to go. We are too weak to make it as rogues. I doubt we could make it past the night if we left. I responded, making her sigh. What if, she begins. I glanced at the clock, it was past the time to start dinner. I just know I wouldn't hear the end of it tomorrow for missing dinner duty. I could just hear our lead Omega yelling at me for having to make the other Omegas clean the kitchen. I sighed and got off the floor feeling my butt aching. What if what? I say, grunting as I slump my shoulders in defeat. What if you got a job outside of our pack, in the neighboring town? We can save up and leave as soon as we have enough money, she suggests. But seeing that we rarely even had time left after we do everything we are supposed to here, I doubt we could get a job out in the town. Good suggestion, Freya. But are you willing to pull all-nighters with me? I mean, we rarely get any sleep as it is, and we are so malnourished that I doubt it will help us get any healthier, she grunts as she realizes I was right. I barely get any food in me. Our pack is gluttonous to the core. They eat as if there is no tomorrow, which meant that the Omegas barely got any food for themselves as we were always the last to eat. Even then, all the Omegas were allowed to eat before I did. Yes, that's how much the lead Omega hated me. If I was lucky, I was left with half of one piece of toast and a bit of scrape from their plates. We can hide food in our apron as Desiree used to, remember, my best friend used to hide pieces of bread in her apron so we could indulge together at least in a small piece of bread. Until she got caught and whipped by the guards. This, of course, was before she found Cole was her mate and stopped talking to me. Now she sits with everyone else and gets served like a royal. I don't want you getting hurt, Livy. You're already weak as it is. Another whipping would just be too dangerous to our health. It took me nearly a week to heal from the slashes I received the last time I was whipped on my back by Skyla and Cole. It usually takes 1 day for most wolves, but I am so weak from my health and the lack of food, that my body takes longer to heal. To make matters worse, Being rejected by my mate made my body feel even weaker. We can't give up, Freya. Even if the pack and Skyla don't want us, I know there is more to us. I just know this can't be it for us. Even if we are meant to live as slaves for a new pack, we will keep the promise I left my mom and live happily. Just you and me now, Freya. You and me. This new pack can't be any worse than the one we live in now. I would hug you right now if I could, you know that, she says, making me chuckle as I feel tears roll down my cheeks. We gotta get going and get Leah's shoes cleaned. I have a feeling we'll be up all night cleaning those stupid shoes and fixing her closet. I say as I walk to my bathroom and shower quickly, placing on my undergarments and a simple dark olive green shirt. I put on jeans that used to belong to my mom, finishing off with my worn-out sneakers. I put my hair in 2 braids done pretty messy since I was in a rush and had no brush. I made my way out, running toward the pack house. I hope the lead Omega isn't too mad that I missed dinner preparations. I'll have to go in trying to stay unseen and be quick about it. Skyla, my heart still raced at 1,000,000 per second from the moment I walked away from Livy's house. Livy was the most beautiful girl I had ever met. Much more beautiful than Leah if I'm being honest. But she's nothing but an Omega. I could never be seen with someone so weak, it would ruin my reputation. Just looking at her for the past few months gets me hyped up. My wolf, Mason, keeps pestering me to claim her. But I can't. I won't. For one, she's still underage, well, that is until today because she just turned 18. But mostly, because I cannot have a weak Luna. I need someone who can help me strengthen this pack, not weaken it. I won't deny that I'm extremely attracted to Olivia, and I want her so badly. I was close to claiming her back there in her house, but I will not go against my priorities. I stormed into the pack house on my way to my dad's office. I needed to talk to him and Mom about Leah and me. I know I promised Leah we'd get hitched, but I need to sort some stuff out before I announce it to everyone. It will just have to wait. I hope Leah can understand, but the ceremony has to be solely about my position of becoming the new alpha. There you are. Baby, why didn't you tell me the good news? I guess rumors were correct. Hey, Mom says as she pulls me into a hug as I make it halfway through the corridor. What are you talking about, Mom? Don't play dumb with me. Everyone has been talking about it, and Leah just confirmed it. She told me that you and she just made it official. I knew she was your mate, I just knew it, she says, clapping her hands. Leah smiled with her hands crossed over her chest. I clenched my jaw, narrowing my eyebrows. She wasn't supposed to tell anyone yet. I had asked her to keep quiet until after I became alpha tomorrow at the ceremony. I guess now I had to do things the way we had planned at first. I smiled, masquerading my anger. She'll have to deal with me later. Well, I wanted it to be a surprise. But I guess the cat is out of the bag now, isn't it? I said, glancing at Leah. She lowered her head in shame. She knew I was pissed off. She knew better than to go against my word, and she was going to face the consequences later. We have to tell your father. He is going to be so happy, she says, with a bright smile on her face. Luna? We have a little situation in the kitchen. I was wondering if you could please spare a minute. The lead Omega came to interrupt us. She looks between us and I didn't mind letting her know it was okay. She smiles and Leah grabs her hand as they walk away with the Omega. Mom and Leah have become inseparable. I was glad in a way. Leah can be clingy sometimes. Besides, it was in their best interest for Leah to leave as well before she had to face me. I ran my hands through my hair and sighed. Time to face my father and see what shenanigans we gotta deal with now. Knowing the Primords are coming, only meant one thing: there was trouble. They are the ones that protect our pack from bigger packs around us. Though our pack is tough, we are still outnumbered because we are a small pack. We lost almost half when we were invaded by a large pack of rogues years ago. Our pack went from 500 members to half a number. We have gradually prospered financially since then, and thanks to the Primords along with 2 other packs, the Crescent Moon and the Dark Moon pack, we have been getting back on our feet. I was a bit at ease now that I was getting rid of Olivia. She'll be one less burden. If I was lucky, she'll become a slave to the Dark Moon. I've heard of how they torture rogues to death, making them beg to be killed. I was getting excited and happy just thinking of how they would torture her. She deserves it. Thinking she would become my Luna. Pathetic. But, I worry. I can't deny that Dad has managed our pack poorly. Most of our members are weak. For the last few months, the high rankers have tried to help me keep order. If it wasn't for us, this pack would not exist anymore. My dad is far too greedy, and even if I am not alpha yet, they have all learned to respect and obey me more than they respect him. Caden, Alpha of the Primords, I sat on the chair next to my father across from Alpha Marisan and his son, Skyla, who was soon to become Alpha of this pack. I was annoyed already, and I have barely been here for a few minutes. I'm sure you have both had a long drive out here. Why don't we eat first, and we'll get to the meeting right after? Is that okay with you, Alpha? Landon, he looks at my father with a smile. Little did he know I had already taken over as Alpha. Dad chuckled and pats my shoulder, making me look at him through my irritated mood. I came with my parents, and my beta, Asher, leaving my mate, Molly, behind to tend to a few things. But I was missing her terribly. My brother-in-law, Alpha Alaric, will be joining us soon. I hope. He hasn't found his mate, and we mock him for it from time to time. I know, it's stupid and childish, but fun to do. We like to taunt him and give him a hard time about it, saying that his blue balls are making him more irritable. Don't get me wrong, his pack is loaded with beautiful women, but he's been devoted to finding his mate, and I know for a fact he's saving himself for her. It was a vow we made to ourselves and something our packs held sacred. Not even a chosen mate could take that from us. Caden, honey. Alpha Morrison is talking to you. It's uncourteous to not answer, sweetie, my mom said, squeezing my hand softly as she reached across from Dad. Dad never goes anywhere without her, it's as if they were glued by the hip. I look towards them, clenching my jaw but softening my eyes as I see Mom smile. Hurry up. I'm dying here. I mind link Alaric, hoping he arrives soon. The perks of being a primered wolf, we can link even if we were miles and miles away. It's fine with me, I reply, looking out towards the corridor of the pack house. Their pack house was far too small, compared to ours, just like most packs around here, but it oozed with glamour, evident they were trying to maintain the place. Or perhaps investing their money wrong. I'm sorry, but am I missing something here? Alpha Morrison asks Dad, glancing between him and me. Not at all. My son is the alpha now, he took over as soon as he turned 18, almost 6 months ago. And he's doing a good job, if may I say. Dad chuckles, slapping my shoulder once more. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Alpha Morrison says awkwardly. His son gives him an annoyed look, clenching his jaw. I know for a fact he doesn't trust his son to take over. It's true, sometimes the new alphas get rattled up with their new title of authority. The feeling of the new power is too glorious for them. But I have been training for this since I was a kid. Dad made sure I attended every meeting and had me do pack work with him and Mom's help ever since I could remember. Dad has taught me to see it as a privilege to serve our pack, rather than boss them around and treat them like shit. I've heard from prying ears how alphas mistreat members and abuse their authority. It won't happen with my pack or Alarix, despite the rumors. And what about you, Skyla? I hear you're getting ready to take the lead in this pack. Are you excited and ready? Mom asks, making him clench his jaw as he gives his dad a bothered look. They've both been anxious since we got here. We tend to have that effect on other alphas, it's as if they feared us for some odd reason. The rumors of us being the worst are nothing but rumors. We just don't like getting pushed around, nothing more. Ready as I'll ever be. I've only been waiting for the last 8 months or so, he says, looking at his dad. His foot tapped nervously on the floor, making me irritated. The laughter of 2 women makes us turn. Luna Morrison and a girl with red hair and an extremely sparkly dress come in with their hands looped together. Darling, the food is ready to be served. Luna Morrison says, going next to her husband and kissing his cheek as she walks next to him. Alpha Landon, Luna, again, welcome to our pack. I hope our hospitality is of your approval, she says, giving Mom a hug. Thank you, we love it here so far. So glad to be back here after so many years, Mom replies, looking around. Mom had always loved the small cottage charm and was pushing Dad to build a smaller house so they could finally move out of our pack house, so I was guessing that this small pack house was giving her ideas. The girl with red hair and wearing too much perfume for my liking grabs Skyla's face and kisses him seductively, making me roll my eyes. I should have brought my wife, Molly, with me. It's making me a bit jealous. We've been married for not too long, but I can't get enough of her. Asher, my beta, muffled a laughter. I bet you anything this girl is not his mate. She's another Melinda if you ask me. I can't help but laugh, making everyone turn as Asher's mind links me. I sit up straight, apologizing as she sits giving me a seductive look. I fix my coat and clear my throat. She's definitely another Melinda. I link back to Asher, making him chuckle, earning a warning look from my mom. Melinda was a big gold digger who had come to visit our pack a few months ago. She went around following me and claiming to everyone that she was my chosen Luna since I hadn't found my mate yet. I had to bring her back down to reality in a harsh way, letting her know in front of everyone that Molly was my mate and our only Luna. The Omegas came in, cutting our conversation as they began to serve. "Where's Livy?" I thought I told the lead Omegas she was to serve tonight, Alpha Morrison says to one of the young girls, making her look nervously toward the other Omega girls. Alpha Morrison, I apologize, Olivia was not feeling well. The lead Omega made her go home. She looked rather pale, and she fainted when we— What do you mean? Is she okay? Alpha Morrison asked, sounding genuinely concerned. Why do you care? She's fine if you ask me, it's just another excuse to not do her work. She looked fine to me earlier, besides all the mess she made in the kitchen. Luna Morrison says, rolling her eyes. I closed my eyes, pinching the bridge of my nose. I hate listening to personal quarrels inside other packs. But I especially disliked that has been happening in this pack. That's inexcusable. I need her here, serving. Now. Go and get her. Alpha Morrison demands in his alpha tone, making the Omega flinch. I told her to go home. There is plenty of other Omegas that can serve. Let's just eat, shall we? Skyla says, pointing to the Omegas to start serving. His dad looks at him bothered, but he shrugs it off, clearing his throat and giving the sign to the Omegas to serve. Alpha Alaric will not be joining us for dinner, I see. Luna Morrison adds, making Mom glance at her. No. Ricky had a few things to tend to. He will be here early tomorrow morning, she replies, smiling. Oh, well, I guess I need to make sure we serve his favorite. What does he like? She asks, making Mom smile. Oh, Ricky is not picky. He likes everything. But if you want to be on his good side, bake him a nice pastry with a strong coffee. He will love that, she adds, making Dad and I chuckle. Alpha Alaric, or Ricky, as we all call him, has a big sweet tooth. He looks like he's always angry, and he's very serious all the time, but he's a nice guy. He takes his job very seriously, and doesn't take bull from anyone, but he's a sucker for sweet stuff. Don't be fooled by the appearance, everyone thinks he's a menace, and to most that dare to cross the line he is. But not to us. To us, he's just Ricky. But, if you want to be on his good side, get him a sweet pastry and a good cup of freshly brewed coffee. I'm taking care of a few more things in the office. I will be there early. Molly just texted, she says she wants to leave with me as well. I smiled as I hear Rick's mind link me. I was excited. I knew my beautiful bride wouldn't stand being away from me for so long. I can't wait for tomorrow morning to see my wife, Molly, and my best friend, Rick. Olivia, I wiped the 20th pair of shoes, placing them back inside their place, and then quickly began to go through Leah's closet. I knew she was going to wear a glamorous dress tomorrow for the ceremony. She had been looking forward to it since a month ago and had a dress especially done for the evening when they will announce her as the Pax Luna. Her dress hung on a hook next to a full-size mirror inside a black bag made of cloth. I couldn't help but envy her. If destiny had been a bit different, and my parents were still alive, maybe that dress would be mine. I would be the new Luna and would become Skyla's new mate. Just as our goddess had intended things to be, but only fate knew why things had ended the way they did. Curiosity got the best of me. I began to unzip the bag, admiring the shimmer of her skin-tight black dress she was going to wear tomorrow. I imagined how it would fit me, as I took it out of the bag and placed it over my body to see it in the mirror. "It would definitely look better on you, Livy," Freya says, making my eyes water as I chuckle. "Thanks, Freya, but let's face it. Even if it did, it's not my style. Besides, I will never be able to have any of these things. But it's good to dream, right?" I say, forcing a smile, making her retract in a whimper to the back of my head. The pain of my rejection was still a fresh wound inside of me. I placed the dress back, zipped the bag, and fell to my knees. I began sobbing again, fisting my hands as realization dawned on me. It was just about 1 in the morning, and if Leah wasn't back yet, it meant she was with Skyla. They were together, and the thought of him being intimate with her hurt, even if he wasn't mine anymore. I crawled into a ball, crying and feeling pathetic. I was soon destined to become no more than a slave. A slave to one of the 2 most feared packs by our own king. If he feared them, I can only imagine how everyone else feels around them. I got up, and went home, ready to call it an end, and hoped that whichever pack decided to take me in, would allow me to take a few things with me. It was around 5 in the morning and I was still not able to sleep. I decided to go about my day, getting ready. I took a quick shower, feeling the cold water, making me shiver. I had long gotten used to the fact that hot water was for the privileged, and it did not include me. I changed into ripped jeans, a worn-out t-shirt that used to belong to Dad, and my sneakers. They felt awful, since I didn't own any socks, and the inside was past worn out, but hey! I'll manage. I sprinted toward the pack house and started to see the kitchen already busy. My eyes went wide as the head Omega came running, pulling me by my arm. "What took you so long? It's nearly 6, we need to get breakfast finished. One of the packs arrived last night, and the second pack is soon arriving. Luna Maddie has instructed me to have breakfast before everyone wakes up. Everything needs to be perfect, got it?" she says, pulling me toward the long kitchen island. If she was being careless to call our Luna by her first, it meant she was nervous and didn't realize her mistake. It made everyone else look at her in shock, but doubt she realized. "Okay," I say, feeling a bit of pity at how everyone looked so scared and nervous. If they were so frantic, it only meant one thing: our Alpha was especially on edge. Which meant he would not like any mishaps. She began to take out mixing bowls and ingredients. "Luna wants you to bake your best pastry, it's for Alpha Alaric. It needs to be your best, and I am warning you, child. Do not mess this up or we are all done for," she says, making me worried. I mean, seriously, how bad can it be to bake something? But, she's right, maybe if I bake my best cupcakes, he can be easy on me. The last I need is for me to be on his bad side or the other alphas. I'm now destined to be a slave to one of them, and if I'm lucky, the one less likely to kill me will take me in if they see a preference for my baking. They can even make you their official baker, Freya hoped. If we were so lucky. I hope you're right, Freya. I say through our mind link. I began whipping up my best chocolate nash cupcakes, and the whole kitchen soon became engulfed with the sweet chocolate aroma. It made a few of the Omegas smile, making me feel a bit proud. But I knew better than to show it. But just as I was bringing out the last batch, Alpha Morrison came in with Leah and his beta, Gunter. There she is, Dad. Make her, tell her to give them back to me, she says, crying, making everyone turn, looking at him in shock. Alpha's gaze on me was deadly, filled with disappointment. He sighs, closes his eyes, and nods to his beta, gesturing for him to grab me. I always knew you were a disgrace, Olivia. How could you steal from my soon-to-be daughter-in-law, he says, making me confused. His beta grabs my hand and pulls me away. What? No. I haven't stolen anything, I swear. I say as I begin to panic. Leah's face gleamed with a wicked smile, and I knew she was setting me up. You were the only one in my room last night. You took my new earnings. Do you have any idea how expensive those are? Give them back to me, she says, making me feel dumbfounded. I don't know what you're talking about. I swear I didn't take anything. I pleaded, looking at Alpha Morrison. Shut up, he says, striking me with the back of his hand across my face. Let this be a lesson to all of you. I will not tolerate anyone taking what is not yours. Take her to the dungeon, he says to his beta, looking at me menacingly. His beta, Gunter, dragged me away, making heads pop from inside their bedrooms to see the commotion. I wasn't just embarrassed, I was hurt, and angered. This pack has done nothing but treated me like trash, and I feared it would never end. I knew why they were doing this. They were probably making sure the visiting packs had the wrong impression of me. They knew if they did they'd ensure I had bad treatment there too. Please. I swear, I didn't steal a thing from you, Leah. You know I wouldn't, I've never touched any of your things. I pleaded with her as Gunter pulled me past the living room and out of the pack house, toward the dungeons. So you're calling me a liar? I know you took them, Olivia. You were the only one in my room. I trusted you enough to be the only one to clean my stuff, and look how you repay me, she adds, making me look at her in anger. Enough. Take her away. Skyla says, coming out of the pack house with nothing but pajama bottoms. But my eyes went wide as I see the mark on his neck. It was until then that I realized Leah had been marked too. That's why she hadn't come back to her room last night. They were together, and they had completed their mating bond, marking each other. I was done for. All these years Leah had anticipated being his Luna. She longed for him to mark her and give her the power to do whatever she wanted with me. The only thing now standing in her way was the ceremony. Once he was Alpha, she had all authority to do as she pleased. And that began with making sure to make my life a living hell. She knew I was demoted, once again, but if she found out Skyla had sentenced me to be one of the 5 Omegas he wanted to give the visiting pack as a peace offering, she was going to make sure I didn't leave. Otherwise, how could she continue to torture me? Livy, why are you letting them take you there again? Liv, do something. Tell them it wasn't us. Freya yelled in my head as I filled with anger. Gunter pulled me by my arm, making me stumble. But he jolted me up, keeping me from falling on my face. I could only hear the laughter of onlookers as we made our way down to the dungeons. How could they believe her? I haven't done anything. I have never stolen anything. Well, besides bread, that's only when I couldn't take the hunger I felt anymore. How much more mistreatment or torture can they possibly do to me? I mean, I'm about to leave this pack thanks to Skyla. Why are they so bound in hurting me? Do they really hate me this much? Freya, shut it. You'll only make things worse. I linked back to my wolf as I struggled to get down the dungeon's steps. Beta Gunter nodded to a guard, making him open one of the doors, and then tossed me inside the cell. The same cell I had long learned to loathe. This place had a thick stench of rotten flesh, feces, and old vomit that always made me feel sick to the stomach. This was the same place where I had seen Alpha Morrison do gruesome things to rogues and take advantage of girls they had captured as rogues. Things, I wish I could have never seen it, but I can still see it vividly as if it had just happened. I remember their cries and pleas for him and his beta to stop. What's worse is that many in our pack knew about his actions, but they preferred to turn a blind eye. And I knew, if I ever spoke out, I could end with the same fate as one of those girls. What they do to me, the way they treat me is nothing compared to how they torture those girls. I feared that one of these days, I could end here, and meet the same fate as them. I'd be beaten, molested, and left for dead. Please. No. No. Don't leave me here, I swear I didn't do it. You have to believe me. I cried, as I got off the floor and went to grab the bars. The silver around each bar burnt my skin, making me wince as I quickly let go of the bars. Beta Gunter pinches the curve of his nose and sighed. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! He began with a whisper, ending in a roar as his eyes darkened. I was filled with fear, backing away from him. I don't give a rat, if you did it or not. I'm simply following orders, got it? So why don't you do me a favor and shut your maw, he yelled, making me flinch. He tosses the keys to a thin silhouette to his right side and nods, and I'm bewildered. Should I be worried? Most likely. She is all yours now. Remember, what Alpha Morrison said, don't kill her, or we'll both be in big trouble, he says, making my heart beat faster. Liv, what's happening? What's going on? My wolf Freya asks, sensing my fear. She growls as we get hit by the scent of Leah and her goons. I told you I'd deal with you later, you stupid pathetic mutt, Leah says as she tosses the keys to one of the other she-wolves with her. The blonde girl locks the door behind them, and she, along with the other three, enters my cell. The three grab me, making sure to get a good hold of me. I try to escape, and resist, but to no avail. Leah, please. You don't have to do this. I swear, I didn't steal anything. I would never. Do you really think this is about the stupid earrings? She says, chuckling. Then, I feel it. The first blow to my stomach made me hunch over in pain as I cough. Did you really think? She says as she takes another blow at me, hitting me on my ribs. That I didn't know Skyla was your mate, she says, making my eyes widen. She begins chuckling in disbelief. Oh my goddess, she says laughing. Girls? She really thought Skyla would choose her, she says, pointing at me and making the other girls burst into laughter. Look at you. You're a nobody. You will always be a nobody, and no one, but I mean no one will ever want you. Do you really think you can ever compare yourself to me? A top warrior, strong, brighter, and worthy of the Luna title. You will always be scum. And I will make sure that even if I can't make you stay to make your life hell, she says, getting closer. Her hand grips my hair tighter. My eyes fill with tears and Freya whimpers. This is a whole new level of humiliation. How could he tell her? I get it, he didn't want me, but did he have to tell her I was his mate, and he rejected me? Why? Why did he have to be so cruel? I will make sure that I send someone else to shit on you every chance they get, and there is nothing you or anyone else can ever do about it, she says as she yanks my hair downward. What did I ever do to you? Why do you hate me so much? I have never done a thing to you. I dared to say, making her turn toward me. She glares angrily and comes back. She strikes me on my left cheek harshly, making my head turn. I can feel the sting, making my eyes watery. You exist. And that is enough for me to hate you. You should have been the one who died that day, not Brandon. She pauses, fisting her hands and clenching her jaw. Leah and I were easily the same age. How could she know? Or remember my brother? And what did all this have to do with me and her? I'm done here. Give this mutt a good thank you for my earrings, will you girls? She says, gesturing to the other three girls. And that's where it gets worse. All of them start to beat me. They kick me continuously, punch me wherever they can, and even scratch me on my already bruised body. All I can do is fall into a ball, protecting my head as I take every hit until they've had enough. I can't help but cry out in pain. I can faintly see someone coming, making the girls leave before I pass out, and I'm taken to my place of peace, my dreams. Third-person POV: Livy is dragged out of the dungeon by a guard and Gunter, followed by Skyla and his dad, Alpha Noah Morrison. Her body is filled with bruises, blood, and evidently a few broken bones. Though Skyla can care less about what has happened to her, he is pissed off. She is supposed to leave tomorrow morning as one of the peace offerings to the Dark Moon. If things don't work out accordingly, he and his dad will not be able to talk the Dark Moon Alpha into protecting them. He's never been scared of a fight, but he knows he will not be able to fight off another intrusion by the Rogue King. He's already killed half of the pack. They are vulnerable, and another attack may extinguish whatever is left of the group. Why didn't you listen to me and left it for me to handle? We have visiting packs, why would you make a dance scene like this? Skyla glared at Leah as she walked to the opposite side of them. She was obviously coming back from having a nice iced coffee with her friends. Who knows how long Livy had been left unconscious? If it wasn't for Gunter, who tried to drag her out on his own without being seen, the Primords would have seen what had happened, and the deal would have been off before they could propose their part. I'm sorry. I had to teach her a lesson. She needs to know who Luna is going to be. Besides, why do you even care if they see? They are fearless, they probably would have enjoyed the scene, she says unbothered, placing her hand on her hip and flipping her hair. Leah, seriously. Use your mind. These packs are not to be taken lightly. If we trap up, we are done for. If they refuse to protect us, no one else will. Everyone but them are scared of the Rogue King. No one has ever stood a chance other than these two packs, he says, gripping her arm, whispering. But, they have to aid us. Don't they? It's their obligation. That's why the king sent them today. To make a treaty with us, she says, baffled and looking at Alpha Morrison and Gunter. They both look at each other annoyed and nod their head. Leah, you've been too busy reading your stupid magazines and eating at too many fancy restaurants to see the true gravity we are in. Do you not get that our pack numbers have gone to less than half? Do you think our numbers can outdo the rogue king by ourselves? He says, pinching the curve of his nose. Okay, I get it. But, what does that have to do with the mutt? Leah asks, looking at a still half-conscious Olivia. Because she's leaving as one of the slaves we are offering them tomorrow? Okay, he says, making her eyes widen. Wait. What? Alpha Morrison asks, standing in front of Skyla. Skyla sighs, closing his eyes in irritation. Who gave you the authority to do that? I told you she was a no-go, he blurts out, making Skyla growl and fist his hands. As of tonight, I am the alpha, whether you like it or not. If I say she goes, she goes. And there is nothing any of you can do a thing about it. Skyla, Alpha Morrison says as Skyla begins to walk away, grabbing his arm and pulling him back. Skyla glares at his dad and down to his arm, making his dad release him. After tonight, I call the shots, and that starts with sending Olivia off with the other pack. Either she goes, or I banish her and convert her into a rogue. And if I were you, father, I'd watch my step as well. I will not tolerate the shit you've been doing behind closed doors, he says, making his dad look at him in disbelief. What are you saying, Sky? Do you think I don't know all you've done to all the girls you've captured? Imagine if Mom found out? I wonder, he says, looking out, pondering. How many of those innocent women did you and Gunter impregnate? For all I know, I might have over 20 siblings out there. Am I right, or wrong? He says, making Alpha Morrison growl. We're done with this conversation until the visiting packs leave. Understood, he warns his dad, making him clench his jaw. Leah is left baffled, crossing her arms and feeling bewildered. Gunter, you can leave too. I will help our guard take Olivia back to her house. She will be left alone to heal until tomorrow when we can send her off. If anything happens to her until then, I will not go lightly on the culprit. I don't care who it is. Understood, he warns all of them, making all of them but the guard fume with anger. Livy's worn-out body is taken to her room and set on top of her bed. She grunts as she feels them place her down, but is too hurt, too tired to cough or say a word. Her bottom lip is still swollen as it was left with a slight slash. For a moment, Skyla feels pity as he sees her scar, running from her neck and crawling up to her jaw. She grunts, turning lightly, making him snap out. She's no longer my concern, he thinks, feeling the mating bond strengthening with Leah. There's just no going back. He needs to assure himself that Olivia leaves tomorrow, no matter what. So, he links the doctor to come and take care of Livy. For the first time since he has known her, he calls for help. Not because he was still feeling love connections toward her, but sympathy. He grew up with her and her brother after all. He had to do at least one good thing for her before she was gone for good. Once the doctor was there and he gave him instructions, he left to get ready for the ceremony, and just in time as he was notified that the Dark Moon Pack was at their borders, ready to enter their territory. Alaric, I swear next time I'm running out here. I sore from sitting for far too long, my sister Molly complains, making me chuckle. She's the total opposite of me. She has a big mouth and says whatever is on her mind without holding back. The same reason why she gets in trouble all the time. As for me, I don't like messing around so much. I've learned to take things seriously, having to help Dad with our pack from a young age. Mom died just a few weeks after we were born. Our pack was attacked by rogues, which is why I despise them. I especially loathe their leader. He may seem scary to others, but I only want to get my hands on them and rip them apart. One day soon I will take my revenge. We're almost there, sis. Just a few more minutes, I say as we come up to the last turn. Then it hits me. My wolf starts to go wild, howling and acting unease. What is wrong with you, Black? Ricky. I think mate is here. What? I yelled out, making my driver press the brake and causing Molly to spill her juice. Ricky. What? Alpha, everything okay? My other driver and the rest of my warriors in the other cars say as they barge around my car. Yeah, everything is fine. Sorry guys, continue. I announce, making them look at each other in concern. Are you sure, Black? I ask my wolf, becoming nervous. Yes, I can sense her. Oh, Ricky, she's a good one. She's strong. I can sense her, he says, making Molly look at me as if I've lost it. Okay, what's going on with you? I can see you're talking to Black, what is going on? What aren't you telling me? She demands, making Black more excited. Molly is my twin, and just like she is connected to her mate, she has a special connection to my wolf and can talk to him when I'm not shifted. Black. Tell me, she says, making him chuckle. Black thinks our mate is in here. Molly. I think I finally found her. I found my mate, Molly. I say, making her eyes water happily for me and Black. Oh, Ricky. I am so happy for you and Black, she says as she begins to cry, pulling me in for a hug. We make it to the Silver Moon Pack's house and I am anxious, but the more I look around, the more impatient Black becomes. We have no idea where she is. I can smell her. The beautiful scent of orange blossoms and peach. She smells heavenly, and I'm going crazy not being able to find her. The ceremony begins, and I know I'm being an ass. I'm not paying attention to anyone is saying, and there's a chick with red hair who keeps eyeing me up and down. Black, we need to get out. We need to find her, she's not in here. I say as I set my drink down and begin to walk out, but Molly stops me. Where are you going? You can't leave, Rick. It's not proper for a visiting alpha to leave. Molly says, making me look back. Her arm is wrapped around my best friend Caden, who of course, is her husband, and they are followed by Asher, Caden's cousin, and Beta of his pack. Molly, I gotta find her. She's here somewhere, but I don't think she's at the party. Black doesn't sense her in here. I say worriedly. Everyone. Can I have your attention please? Alpha Morrison asks over the mic, cutting the music and getting everyone's attention. He stands on a small stage they created, next to his son Skyla. I really don't like that guy, he's bad news. We'll find her, okay? If Black says she's here, then she's here. Soon as the ceremony is over, Asher and I will go to help. Caden mind links me, and I can't help but clutch my drink as I tighten my jaw. I can feel a lot of eyes on me, despite the alpha on stage talking. They murmur amongst themselves, giving me frightened looks. The same frightened looks I've been getting since I got here. I'm used to them though, I tend to have that effect on people. Alaric, the party felt like it lasted forever. But by midnight and with no sign of my mate, we decided to call it a night. The more I am in this pack, the more I realize that is all a bunch of immature teenagers who are out to party and run around carelessly. So we took off, and headed toward the shack Caden told me he had seen. Babe, why don't you head into our room? Ricky and I will deal with this. Caden tells my sister. She looked ready to protest, but I know she was tired. She sighs, hugging us and saying good night. We made our way toward the shack, walking under the moonlight. The forestry became thicker until we finally came up to a clearing. There stood a tiny shack, badly shaped. The roof looked ready to fall, the paint chipping, and a few broken windows. We came closer as her scent became stronger, but I growled when I got the scent of blood. Ricky, I think she's hurt. Her wolf feels like she's agonizing, but I can't tell. Black suggests, making my blood boil. I fisted my hands, picking up my pace. Alpha Alaric. There you are. Morrison and his son say as they come behind us along with both of their betas. That's me. Why are you looking for me? Is something wrong? I asked, trying to mask the real reason I was down here. Well, to be honest, no. Actually, as you know, we are hoping to keep the peace with you. We are badly in need of your protection, and we wanted to offer you a few of our omegas as a peace offering to prove to you that we mean well. One of the omegas we planned on giving you lives in this house. But I'm afraid she's been a bit of trouble. Skyla says, making me growl. What do you mean? I ask, fisting my hands. She's been defiant, getting into trouble any chance she gets, and even had a confrontation with my mate. She refused to submit to her new Luna. I'm afraid my Luna's guards had to put her in her place. Show how to respect her authority, you know what I mean? But don't worry, she promised to behave, he says, confidently. But something told me, something was off here. So you expect me to take her off your hands, so you don't have any more problems with her? I say, playing along. I don't know what's at play here. But I can tell when someone is trying to me, and they were obviously trying to pull the wool over my eyes. Yes. I mean no. No, of course not. But, Rick. Alpha Rick my beta, Zane says, making Skyla growl. Skyla clears his throat, fisting his hands. He was fighting his wolf, I could tell, making the corner of my lips pull into a smile. I dare him to start something. I've been so on edge since I got here, I could do a nice challenge right now if he dared. Alpha Rick. I've heard of your notorious ways to train wolves in your pack. If anyone can straighten this mud out, it's you. I have no doubt about it. And if not, not that I doubt. You can always use a slave to do all the dirty deeds no one else wants to. Am I right? He adds chuckling, making me clench my jaw. How dare he speak of my mate like that? Black threatened to merge, making me close my eyes to avoid letting them see my eyes darken. Calm down, Black. We can't lose right now. I warned him, composing my posture and clearing my throat. I thought about it for a second. This was too easy. I feared that if my mate was part of their pack, they would think I was surely obligated to agree to train their warriors and protect their pack. But now, I feel it's more at my convenience. If they were willing to give her to me, only as a peace offering, I still had a few days to think things over and have time to get to know my mate worry-free. I can't tell you how many times people have tried to get me to do shit for them after offering something to me in exchange. So, this girl. You said she's trouble. How so? I ask, making the two alphas exchange victorious looks. Well, nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. Alpha Morrison adds. Ricky, something is not right here. I think our mate is badly hurt. Her wolf doesn't give me the vibes of a bad wolf. They're lying to you. Black mind links me, making me smirk. Very well. I'll tell you what. I'll gladly take her off your hands, but she will have to be taken to my quarters for the night. I say, making them give me worried looks. Alpha Rick, as I said, she is a defiant one. Plus, she's a bit hurt. She needs some time to rest so she can be ready to leave tomorrow with you in the afternoon. Well, that is, if you agree to protect our pack, I knew this was bound to happen. Oh well, all for the sake of my mate. All in due time, don't you think? Besides, if she really is that defiant, I need to make sure she doesn't try any tricks on the way. If she needs to heal, she can easily do so under my care. What better place than my quarters, where I can keep a close eye on her? I need to make sure she doesn't try to escape or try hurt anyone else in the process. Believe me, I won't be easy on her if she tries any funny business. I say, almost wanting to bite my tongue. The least I want is to hurt my mate, but I need to sell this shenanigan show to them. Whatever those she-wolves did to her, is nothing compared to what I'll do to her if she tries to defy me, I say, making Black pissed. Relax, Black. I'd never hurt our mate, you know that. I say, looking down to avoid getting my eyes seen. Well, in that case, I suppose it will be just fine, wouldn't you agree, son? Morrison asks his son, making Skyla clench his jaw. Fine. I will have my guards take her to your room, he says, making me smile. No need. I will have my beta and my gamma take her. I hope it's no bother, but I am quite particular about who I allow in the room I stay in. I hope there is no misunderstanding, but you know how it is? I need to protect my belongings. Not that any of your members would ever, it's no trouble at all. If you will excuse us, then, Alpha Rick. I think we should all get back. I need to get back to my mate. The whole ceremony and the announcement of our wedding still had her a bit excited, but I'm afraid she's worn out. The encounter with this Omega was too much for her. I should make sure she is all right. I hope you will join us tomorrow for breakfast to further discuss everything. I wanted to thank you for attending such a special night for me, and my pack, of course. Skyla says, making me purse my lips and tilt my head slightly in courtesy. Believe me, it was all my pleasure. Thank you for inviting us. I've had a pleasant evening. I reply, gesturing to my Beta and Gamma to go inside and take my mate to my room. The Alphas take no chance. They walk the whole way back with us, making meaningless small conversations with Caden and me. But they forgot a great deal, the real reason we came, and to keep an eye on Caden's dad, Blake. If all goes well, he will be able to help us discover why this pack has been in the eye of the Elders' Council, and why they have motives to want to remove them. This was the real reason I came. Finding my mate was just a big bonus. Alaric, I had asked Molly through our mind link to look forward to my Beta dropping off my mate in my room. She was eager to see her, but she didn't expect the state she was in. I haven't seen her myself, but I think it isn't good. Molly keeps crying, mind linking me every time she sees a new bruise on her. Meanwhile, I'm stuck walking to them. We pass a nice-looking home with flowers, a picket fence, and a cherry blossom on each front porch corner. It was rather pleasing to the eye. It was a very lovely-looking charming home, if I may add. Well, this is where I leave you. Good night to the two of you. Sky, I presume you can handle things on your own starting tomorrow, he says, making Skyla clench his jaw. Of course. Good night, father, he says, turning and continuing to walk. Alpha Morrison clears his throat and nods toward me. I nod in response and continue walking, but Skyla is soon by my side again. There's not much of a conversation after that. He and I have nothing in common to talk about. He's still too immature and power-hungry to run this pack but lacks the passion and wisdom. In my pack and Cade's, we had to undergo numerous studies, learning the names and backgrounds of every member, past and present. And believe me, it was a lot. Caden's pack is easily over 7,000 years old, ours is about 1,000 years younger than his. It took us about 3 years' worth of study for all of our history and family trees. But it was worth it. It gave us a new perspective, learning to love and appreciate every pack member. We value them equally. Dad always had a saying, the same one I hear Blake say, a pack is only as strong as its weakest member. So, we ensure all our members are treated equally and trained equally. Whether it's a warrior or an Omega, they all learn to fight and defend themselves. Very well, I think this is where we split up. Again, if there is anything we can help you with, please let us know. I hope you have no trouble with this, girl. Skyla says as he looks toward the hallway and grips his doorknob. For a pack that has been bringing in a lot of money, they have an awful small pack house. I didn't think much when I saw the houses coming up here because many of my pack members have asked permission to live independently, but I can easily fit over 400 or more members in my pack house. I noticed most pack members left the house after the party, though. Only the Alpha, the Beta, the Gamma, and their mates stayed behind, along with 2 other girls. I saw the same girls following their Luna like puppies at the party. I guess maybe they were her guards. Not even Morrison and his leaders live here anymore. I mean, I get it, Dad wanted to move out as well as soon as I became the alpha, so I did the right thing and turned our south portion of the pack house's attic into an excellent bachelor's pad. Dad refused to take a chosen mate after Mom died and preferred it this way. He said unless he ever found a second chance mate, he had no desire to replace her. I respect him for that, but sometimes I wish he had moved on. I want the old man to be happy and have a partner to grow old with when he reaches old age. But back to this pack, most packs even have enough space to eat meals together. From what Caden was telling me, they eat outdoors to accommodate everyone. At least their kitchen looks an appropriate size. But come on, learn to invest your money correctly, man. These guys dress in luxury while the rest of the pack dresses normally. But, that's none of my business for now. I have my ways to conduct my pack, and it has been successful up to now. I learned well from my dad and Caden's pack. His dad and uncle are top investors with significant assets worldwide. Caden and I follow their steps, ensuring our packs are well off. From the leaders to the last Omega, we make sure they are all well taken care of and don't lack anything, down to the smallest of necessities. I nodded, walking 2 steps and hearing him open his door, but I stopped. I wanted to prick a needle and get the snake rattled a bit. If I had to spend the night awake, looking after my mate, I'd make sure he didn't sleep well either. Let me ask you something. Why haven't you made any modifications to your pack? I mean, you guys have been submitting reports to the Council of massive monetary amounts. But I noticed your pack members don't reside here. Why is it that? Don't you think the weakest members, like the Omegas, will be safer if kept under your protection? You should have your pack modified to fit them in the pack house, wouldn't you agree? I asked, making him grip the doorknob tighter. Alpha Alaric, not everyone likes to sleep in a house filled with scum. I like my house clean, that's all the Omegas are good for anyway. To clean, right, he says, making my blood boil. He was so wrong. His presumption of what a pack is was so wrong. Right. I guess you got me there. Good night to you. I say, tipping my imaginary Stetson and walking away toward my room. I will not keep on arguing with someone so ignorant. Someone who doesn't care about their members' well-being. He closes the door, and I hear him murmuring under his breath, making my lips smile. He's pissed off, but hey, if my pack is to protect his ass, he better realize I mean respect. He will not boss my kids around. And if I can help it, he'll have to learn to respect his pack as well. I make it to my room, eager to see my mate. I don't know what to expect other than that I trust Black. If he says our mate is harmless, then I believe him. I open my door, and I am immediately hit with the sweet smell of orange blossoms and peach. Black becomes content, acting like a small pup who just got his favorite lost toy back. Most of her wounds and bruises are already healing, but she was crying a lot. I had work to do on her, so she's worn out. Make sure she sleeps the rest of the night. In the morning, give her 5 drops of this tincture inside a warm cup of tea. It will probably make her sleep until we get her home, so don't worry if she's unresponsive. Asher says as he and my beta stand up, giving me directions. How bad was it? I ask, concerned with her. 2 broken ribs on the left, 1 on the right, head trauma, dislocated shoulder, broken right wrist, slashes from a sharp object on her legs, hands, and abdomen. Okay. I get it. They tried to kill her. I said, becoming infuriated. Where's Molly? I ask, concerned with my sister. She was crying hysterically earlier. I wanted to make sure she was okay. Caden took her. She's asleep. I gave her a sedative, as I did with Livy. Who's Livy? I ask, making them chuckle as they exchange looks. Olivia, your mate, Zane adds, making my heart skip a beat. I walk toward her, brushing my fingers delicately over her arm. She stirs lightly, making me retract my hand. Alpha, I don't think she's defiant. She kept murmuring as Asher and Molly healed her. She kept saying something about earrings. That she didn't steal them. And, begging them to stop. I see, I say as my hands fist clenched my jaw in anger. Black is equally angry, threatening to merge through. Find out what you can. I need to know who did this to her. See if Blake found anything. We'll leave early in the morning, before noon, so be ready. I say, making them both nod. Please, no more, she whispers, turning her head lightly. I brush her hair behind her ear, seeing pain in her face. Livy. It's okay. You're safe now. I will never let them hurt you again, I promise. I say, making her sigh in her sleep. Her expression softened, and I sat next to her, admiring her features and thanking the heavens for her. She's absolutely beautiful. What am I going to do with you, Livy? I know you'll be a great Luna. I can feel it. You're strong, but do you know that? I ask her, though I know she can't answer me. My fate is now in her hands. I hope she wants me. I don't think I can face being rejected. I've been waiting for her for nearly a whole year. I hope our goddess has kept her promise and fated me to someone willing to protect my pack alongside me. Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.